Applicant, are you ready to respond? 3 minutes.
Yes, Your Excellency. Much obliged and good afternoon. I'm honored to be before you once again. Your Excellencies, the applicants will rebut the respondents' submissions in 2 fronts. One, the respondents' arguments on the substantive issues are factually and legally incorrect. And secondly, the respondents' arguments on the preliminary issues are also legally incorrect. On the substantive issues, Your Excellencies, Council has stated that there was no evidence with regards to the issue of the child laborers, and the only source relied on is the confidential. However, a reading of paragraph 7 speaks to the Transparency International NGO that gave a report confirming that the alleged violations of the rights of the child laborers were present. Secondly, Your Excellencies, paragraph 8 of the fact pattern highlights that the ILO governing body gave recommendations to the state of Rwanda with regards to violations of child laborers. That, Your Excellencies, shows that it is more than the media source. We have reports and we have the recommendations by the ILO governing body, and as such, the violations did indeed occur in the state of Rwanda. Your Excellencies, on the issue of the Omia people, the respondent submitted that it met the test of necessity. However, Your Excellencies, the respondents failed to respond to the applicants' submissions, which were on inadequate compensation. Your Excellencies, in the case of Endorois, the Commission stated that the indigenous people require special protection, and as such, they should be given a compensation that is of equal status to their land. In this case, if the state deemed it so necessary to evict them, they should have given them a land that takes into consideration the uniqueness of the indigenous community, a land that they can perform their pastoral activities, and a land that they can perform their farming activities. On the issue, Your Excellencies, of the detainment of President Oko, the respondent submitted that the incommunicado detention is justifiable because procedural safeguards were taken. However, Your Excellencies, the African Commission in the Zegveld versus Eritrea case, in paragraph 55 of the judgment, stated that incommunicado detentions are in and out of themselves a gross violation of human rights that can never be justified. Your Excellencies, on the last issue on Mr. Ditan's arrest and detention, the respondent submitted that the arrest and detention was legal. However, the respondent failed to submit on the proportionality of the conviction given. The applicant's submission was that it was disproportionate to the sought-after aim. If at all the respondents deemed it so necessary to convict Mr. Ditan, Your Excellencies, or rather to arrest him, then they should have taken or rather used a less restrictive measure. In the sense, Your Excellencies, they could have issued warnings to Mr. Ditan concerning the content of information relayed on his platform. Otherwise, Your Excellencies, they could have told him to, pick some specific content and not post others, if at all they deemed it necessary to restrict that right of his. On the preliminary issue, Your Excellencies, Council submitted that this court lacks material jurisdiction. However, Your Excellencies, a reading of Article 3.1 of this court's protocol highlights that this court has the jurisdiction to interpret and to listen to matters pertaining the interpretation and application of either the Charter, the Protocol, and any other relevant human rights instruments. Your Excellencies, the specific issue herein is that the Article 34.6 declaration emanates from the protocol, and this court will be exercising its jurisdiction in interpreting and in the interpretation, and application of the protocol. And as such, this court has material jurisdiction. Seeing that my time is up, I will cede floor back to the court.
Thank you. Honorable Registrar, before you take the floor, this marks the end of this case, and the court will rise to go and make the deliberations regarding the hearing of this matter. Thank you.
All rise.